Come on guys, this will be the first video of the go-kart build, and it's going to be this video is just going to be an overview of some of the things I have and some ideas. um, these are the tires I'm going to use. They're just rear tires of MTD lawn tractors, and these are going to be the rears. You can see that they got a 3/4 inch hole with a key in it. So I bought a piece of bar from the place I work at, chrome bar, and I turned down the ends and put a keyway in it to fit these rear wheels. And so I need to like set them up and get it. I want to do a 4-foot wide, like outer edge to outer edge, and so I need to figure out exactly how long to make it. I'm going to use these as the front. You see they have a bolt pattern in them, and it is a huge offset. And I'll show you the benefits of this in a second. But these will be the front tires. Okay, here we have a 4-wheel steer lawn tractor, and you see here is the spindles for the back of it. So I'm going to use these for my front steering. You see here we already have a, what do you call these, a pitman arm or something like that. And you know, here's the bolt pattern. It fits the wheels. And one of the things about this is going to be work well for my front is that with the offset these wheels have, it brings the center of the wheel, even though these tires are super wide to use as a front, it brings the center around the center of the wheel to the center of this spindle right here. So when it turns, it's actually, you know, going to be turning, not traveling to turn. Now what I plan to do is, let's see if I can give you a shot of it, but you see this thing goes in and bolts to the side of the tranny. There's like a 4-bolt pattern. So what I'm going to do is actually to widen this up to get it so that it's 4 foot edge to edge, is build a steel box that these things can bolt to. And then that'll just be, you know, once I have that steel box made, then I have my whole front end. And I'll probably, when I make the bolt pattern for those things to bolt on, I'll probably have it turned just a slight, maybe 10 degrees or so that these things are kind of turned at an angle. It makes it good so that when you steer, the tire kind of goes like this to go into the turn. I try to do that on the I did get it a little bit. It's probably 5 degrees on the yard truck. Basically that whole 300EX frame, I try to get it so that it was on an angle like this, kind of like how it was in the frame of the bike. Whenever you look at a 300EX frame, you know, the bottom of it's like this and it curves like this where the arms bolt up. But I'm gonna try to get probably 10 degrees on that. I thought this thing was hydrostatic. It had a little lever that disengaged it, and one of the problems I had with this thing is it would slip in reverse. So I actually started looking it up, and here there's like little dogs in the transmission that when they start getting a war edge on them, they'll like slip out and kick out. It makes it so it slips. It only did it in reverse, but it's just a, you know, front or a forward, neutral, and reverse transaxle, and then it has like this CVT type belt setup in here. So, but I remember I had this little lever that you can would disengage the power to the axle. Pretty sure. I don't know, I really didn't use it get that much use out of the thing, so I really don't remember. I can't say for sure. But and then the lever on the side, it acted like a hydrostatic. You know, the more you gave it, the faster it would go. But it was just adjusting that CVT thing. But anyways, that'll be my front end. Probably my goal today after this video is probably get that out of there and tear it all apart. Oh, something else I wanted to mention is you see that there's universals in here. It's kind of dark. Why is it dark? You can see there's a universal in there. I'm gonna try getting those out of there, and I could use those for the steering. Another thing with this go-kart is I want to build it so it's a two-seater. So I got to get my steering so it kind of runs off on the one side, and these universals will, you know, let me do that. Alright, for powering the go-kart, I'm using a GX200 clone, and it's pretty much what you find on a generator or something like that. This has electric start, and this is disconnected right now. This will need to be, you know, it has a key and everything. This will need to be moved to, you know, by the steering wheel. And we got a Comet clutch. So, and then around the other side, this is a forward, neutral, reverse gearbox, and it's made for go-karts. I got it from BMI Karts. Pretty much how this thing was made was it has a shaft that sticks out of it, just like the shaft that sticks out of this Comet clutch. So pretty much it's made to have the driven gear that's on here fastened directly onto here. The only thing is I bought Comet clutch first. My belt is a specific length, you know, I don't want to have to buy another belt. So pretty much I had to make it so that this transmission needed to be 6 3/4 center of the shaft to center of shaft away from this motor. So my choices were, well, there wasn't any. So what I decided to do is when I bought the material to make the axle, it was actually, you know, too long, you know, really long piece. It was like 6 or 7 foot long. So I got the material for my axle, and then I made this shaft. As you can see, it goes through here. The shaft that originally goes in here comes out the back. So what I made is a keyed shaft that is identical to the one that originally went in here from here to here. You know, it's got, you know, threads and everything. And then made it so to just extend it over to here, and I drilled this end of the shaft out to fit this end to this end. So now, whenever, so pretty much what I got to do is just make some sort of mount for this. You know, when I make the motor mounts, I'll just make a mount for this. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to put a jack shaft right here to use as a compound gear to reduce the gear ratio before I go to the axle, or go straight from here to the axle. I'm not sure yet. Still kind of not real sure what kind of gear ratio I want to give this yet. A lot of go-karts that run around the streets, you know, we little go-karts low to the ground, generally have somewhere around a 6:1 ratio, and this is going to be running around fields. And I also have larger tires than most go-karts. I got 20-inch lawnmower tires, so I'm not exactly sure what gear ratio to give it. This little gearbox comes with a gear shifter, and it comes with the cables, and it has a little bracket here, you know, to hook the cables, the linkages to. The engine, I already removed the governor out of it. And I also took this whole pull starter thing off and rotated it around. You know, it has a 3-volt pattern. It was originally going this way, which the back of the seat's going to be, you know, here. So it'd be kind of hard to pull it that way. So I turned it off so it's over here. And I peeled the sticker off because it was kind of, you know, completely sideways. It just looks stupid. Carburetor, I have to order it yet. I'm not using the carburetor that goes on here. Yeah, you know, once you remove the governor, you can make linkages and stuff to make those carburetors work, but they have issues. Pretty much, if you was to, you know, you take the top and everything off one of the carburetors, when you have the governor, you'll notice that the throttle is in a full open position. And a lot of people will remove those governors and then you make it so it has linkage. Well, then when you go to start it, you have to give it gas, you know, just like it's giving itself gas to get it started. And I really don't want my kids giving something full throttle gas in order to get it started. And I just figured it's gonna be easier with, and what I'm gonna use is one of the little PZ carburetors. I think it's a 22 or 24 millimeter. And actually there's somebody with a kit. It comes with a stainless steel intake manifold, the carburetor, the cable, and an air cleaner for like $100. So I think I'm just gonna go with that. And as far as not having a governor, I think I need to buy a bigger valve, heavier duty valve springs for this because it's only made to go to 3600. It could end up blowing up because, you know, you know, the connecting rod might not be strong enough or whatever, but at a minimum it needs valve springs because basically these valve springs in here, you can quite literally take the keeper out by hand. They're not very strong, and over 3600 you're going to have valves floating. So at a minimum I'm probably going to buy those. They're only like 20 bucks for those valve springs. But that's what I plan on powering the thing with. Alright, so here's the seats that I plan on using. There are John Deere Gator copies. They look just like a John Deere Gator seat. Or you find them on some lawn tractors and things, and they usually say John Deere right here. These do not. But that'll be the seating. I guess, you know, I don't know if I already said, but it's going to be a 2-seater. So I hope you guys check it out. Catch you later.